Week 7 in the Program Football League presents more than a couple of big matchups worth taking a look at. Let's get right into this and talk about the game of the week that has 5-1 California making a trip to Ann Arbor to take on the undefeated Wolverines. Phil Johnson's Golden Bears have rattled off 4 straight wins against mostly struggling teams, including Fresno State, Texas, Oregon, and Colorado, averaging about 46 points per game, which isn't a shabby average, so not too much should be made of the lack of competition. Michigan, on the other hand, has 2 wins against title contenders over the past couple of weeks, with victories over New Mexico and Tulane, and the Wolverines have averaged 53 points over the past 4 weeks, so it's obvious who everyone expects to win this game. What also doesn't bode well for the Bears is a Week 7 bye for their best wideout, Zay Flowers, who is heads and tails their best man in the passing game. To further complicate matters for Cal is the running game, where they will heavily depend on rookies Ashton Jainty and Jalen Warren because Chuba Hubbard is dealing with a calf injury. Cal quarterback Justin Fields isn't facing a stiff pass defense versus Carolina this week, but they aren't incompetent either, so it's not likely he will be able to carry this program past the tough Wolverines. Meanwhile, the Wolverines' offense is firing on all cylinders, with Jordan Love at the helm and a plethora of weapons at his disposal, including wideouts Jackson Smith-Njigba, Chris Olave, Nico Collins, tight end Brock Bowers, and a running attack led by Rico Dowdle that has been lights out over the past 2 weeks. And Dowdle is facing a weak rushing defense this weekend in New York against the Jets. On top of that, Michigan rookie running back Quinshon Judkins also have a favorable matchup against the Dolphins defense at home in Cleveland. If the Golden Bears do pull off the upset, it's most likely going to come from a combination of quarterback play and the defense, where they sport a strong secondary led by lead tacklers Jamian Sherwood and Zion McCollum, and ball-hawking DBs Xavier Watts and Mike Sanristil, who have 4 interceptions between them. I'll now hand it over to Philip, who will get us all the down low on another big matchup between San Diego State and New Mexico.
All right, let's get right into this matchup between San Diego State and the New Mexico Lobos in Albuquerque. Second-year signal caller Caleb Williams has shaken off a tough rookie season and is now producing at a high level, averaging 8.5 fantasy points per game for New Mexico. He faces a shady pass defense at home against the New Orleans Saints, so the table is set for Caleb Williams' feast, much to the dismay of the Aztecs, who are coming off of a tough home loss to Maryland. The Lobos are getting solid running contributions from rookie back Cam Skattebo, who had his best game of the season on Thursday Night Football, and they will also have Jordan Mason back after a Week 6 bye. But there is some bad news for the Lobos, as their superstar wideout Puka Nacua is suffering with an ankle injury and missed practice on Wednesday. The New Mexico offense has been heavily reliant on Puka's big game production to this point, and anything short of a 100-plus yard game would be severely missed, as they don't have a secondary wideout worth mentioning. Fortunately for New Mexico, they do have one of the best tight ends in the game with Trey McBride, who's averaging 4 fantasy points, which will definitely help. The Lobos also have a strong frontline defense led by Aiden Hutchinson, a name forever etched in the minds of Sdsu fans who might remember his MVP performance in the 2023 National Championship game. At linebacker, the Lobos have also benefited heavily from transfer linebacker Nate Landman, who is currently the 3rd most productive player in the league at the position. The visiting Aztecs come into Albuquerque without their star rookie running back Omarion Hampton, who's currently on the injured reserve list. And as if that wasn't bad enough, they have a banged-up group of wide receivers in Marvin Harrison Jr. and Josh Downs, who are both currently in concussion protocol. The Aztecs don't even have hope at the quarterback position as their leader, C.J. Stroud, faces a decent pass defense on the road in Seattle. And their top running back, Kyren Williams, is on a ridiculous road trip over the pond in London. All signs are pointing to a rough week for Sdsu, who now faces the prospect of falling to just one game above 500, and storm clouds on the horizon as they face 4 top-tier opponents over the final 6 games of the season.
Stay tuned for more news and notes from the program Fantasy Football League as we cover Week 7 scores and injury news. This has been a program, Fantasy Football League Update.